1, 2, 3. Check. Good. Please raise your hand if when starting a new company today, you would simply copy the processes that you're currently using. Wow. And you're not a consultant. Okay, so why is that? Why do we constantly follow the processes that we hate or that we don't respect? So let's take a short example. You run a project called Relationship. And you just read a fabulous book called Buying Flowers. That's a new technique in this field. And you read it has tremendous results. So you think, okay, let's run a pilot project. You buy a set of flowers, you give it, results are great. Customer satisfaction skyrockets. So what you do next is you give flowers and you observe results. And then you came up with this Gauss curve that will tell you that if you give the flowers between 5 to 15 days, you get the most customer satisfaction. And then you add another rule that if there are specific days within a month, flowers work better than others. And you add points and points and points to it. That's how it works in most of the companies. So why are they failing so much? So first, we forget about the source. We focused on buying flowers, but the real goal was make woman happy, right? So we are tweaking our process of buying flowers instead of really thinking about the real target. We are taking shortcuts because usually when we take a process, we want quick results. We want to be quick. So that's why we, take Scrum and it will work. We don't take time to really give this process to people. The process is not ours. Some asshole created it, and I have to use it, right? That's the normal way. This process is ugly, but there's a release process that we have to follow. And they are boring. So, one day company tell you, you have to adhere to your process. You have step 1, step 2, and step 3. And it's your fault when you're not into this process. And then suddenly company tells you, and now be creative, go out, think out of the box. And then, okay, get in the box because we have a process. So that's what's happening in the companies all the time. And they are boring, actually. Processes are boring. And as many people say, with no challenges, life makes no sense. That's all about our IT. And even brainstorming has its own process. And what I would like to tell is the processes are good because they bring order. And order is very important. But even for brainstorming, we have processes. So that's the first challenge for you. I need 10 volunteers to raise your hand, be brave, and we will have a minute exercise. Okay? Come on. Come on. Okay, a few more. Can you give these two guys? And 2 more. No brave? Okay. Okay, I'll take the last one. So, now this paper looks like this. All the people that have it, please read it. And you will have 60 seconds to paint something on it. Okay, are you ready? So, the question is, please paint 30 things that you can be as creative as you want. It can be anything, okay? Let's go. Different things, 30 different things that you can think of. To fill this sheet of paper, you have 60 seconds. I can show you how it looks in, let's say, reality. I will ask the volunteers to collect it just after. I hope this will be a quick exercise. Yes, you have to be in circles. Yeah, you can. This can be smiles, or it can be different things. So this is our brainstorming process. You have 30 more seconds. Curious about the results? 15. Okay, in 5 seconds, I would like all the volunteers to take these papers and bring them here, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry, Pavel. Okay? Thanks. If you can put it here. I'll do my best to share it with you. I know this part was not interesting. Let's try it. Ready? Go. That was quick. $. Okay, that's it. Thanks. Okay, how many of you know the term flow or read the book by Mihaly, the Hungarian name you shouldn't read if you're Polish? So, as you can read, flow is the mental state of operation in which person performing an activity is fully immersed in a feeling of energized focus, full involvement and enjoyment of the process of the activity. In essence, flow is characterized by complete absorption in what one does. And you IT guys know it very well. Sometimes you just look at the watch and it's 2 hours later, or it's the middle of the night and you just simply realize, it's the time. So this is the feeling that that you want to so much that even burglars say, if you give me another activity that requires that my every muscle and every of my brain cell is so focused on the target, I would do it, but I don't know, so I'm stealing things from people's houses. So on the other hand, we have entropy. When we are left alone with no demands on attention, the basic disorder of the mind reveals itself. With nothing to do, it begins to follow random patterns, usually stopping to consider something painful or disturbing. And you know it also very well, right? So we turn on TV, we turn on the radio, we turn something to take this disorder out of our minds. So we are escaping from entropy rather than following a flow. So how to get into the flow? How to do it consciously? So the researchers say that in order to have satisfaction from your life, you need really 2 things. Satisfaction from what you do and satisfaction from your relationships. How to get satisfaction from what you do? There are 3 points. First, you have to be in control. Watching TV is nothing with control, unless there is something that you can control, remember things or somehow think about. Or there's remote control that gives you a sense of control. There's a measurable goal and progress. That's why gamification also is all about, because you know where you are, you have points, you have badges, you have anything. And there are challenges. Without challenge, it's not fun. You won't get into flow if it's not challenging your abilities. That's why people like to compete, because when I compete, I'm challenged. And that gives me a flow experience. I have to be so much focused into the activity, there's no space left in my brain to do anything else, and especially think about disturbing things. So as you can see on the diagram, when the challenge level is low, depending on the skill, you can be apathy, boredom, or relaxation. Hope you don't know it. With the raise challenge level, there's a worry or control, where control is actually where most of us end up. And if you raise challenge level, you can have anxiety, arousal, or flow. And we want to get to flow. So think for a minute about your school. For 15, 70, 20 years of education. What did they teach you? Was it how to express yourself? How to express, it's a painting or is it music? What's your natural way of expression? What is it? Or maybe you learn how to communicate your emotions. What's your fear? What's anger? Why people feel anger? What is it for? It has a purpose. Or maybe you had a class about setting and reaching your goals in 5th grade. Or maybe your uniqueness. How you can respect other people and their uniqueness when you don't know your own, right? So knowing your uniqueness is really important for you. to respect yourself, to know what you can offer other people, and also what you have to propose to the whole world, right? Maybe they told you, okay, you have life mission, you have completely unique abilities. And I don't know if anyone told you it before, but every one of you is completely unique, right? You can smile because that's a good feeling. You're a unique person. And that unique person can have a life mission because there's no one else in the planet exactly like you. So maybe school told you, try harder. If you say I have C grades, try harder. You'll have B grades. And if you have B grades, try harder. You'll have A grades. And when you have A grades, there's at least one B grade, so work harder, work harder. And that's important to think, because when you work with IT people, most of them finishes the school. They don't know how to express feelings. They don't know what feelings are sometimes. We don't know anything about how to run our life or a mission or something. And the only place where we see the flow is the keyboard or reading diagrams. And when we want to talk to these ugly guys, this is this entropy, right? They bring entropy to my mind, so I better just hack on my keyboard. That's important, because then I think about waterfall. Waterfall development model originates in the manufacturing and construction industries. Highly structured physical environments in which after-the-fact changes are prohibitively costly, if not impossible. Sounds like software, right? Since no formal software development methodologies existed at the time, this hardware-oriented model was simply adapted for software development. That's from Wikipedia. That tells you we had no better idea. A bad idea is better than no idea, right? So then came the Scrum. Year 2000, really amazing time. Agile manifesto. Individuals and interactions. Really feel it. These guys standing in front of the crowds, IT people so much energized. Because working software over comprehensive documentation, or responding to change over following a plan. People, were standing ovations. What does it tell you? If there's one thought in it, what would that be? After 30 or 40 years of development, people finally realized we are humans, okay? We develop software, but we are humans. In order to have our flow, we need relationships. I know a few guys working in waterfall model that for a few months didn't collaborate with other workers simply because they had tasked for 5 months, for example. So we need relationships. We need flow. If I have to do this from here to here, there's no flow, there's no challenge. Okay, I can challenge this, but as my expertise grow, I want to have more and more impact. So what Scrum gives us? First, Scrum gives us relationship in a team. And that's the first thing that we really need. And I want you to really realize it, that relationship is nearly half of our energy in life. So there's interdependence in Scrum. I depend on others, they depend on me, I have my task. There's honesty because there are retrospectives. For some people, they could be the only meeting or the first meeting that they were expressing their feelings openly. Sometimes it is. And it's a feeling of creating something together. That's relationship, that's fellowship. Yeah, there was great product, so it rocks, so let's drink some beer or two. There's a goal, and I'm the influencer. I do my task, but I really feel how it fits into the big picture. So most people leave the companies not because there's a better money, or they like the product, they like the money, they like their boss, but they don't feel they can influence reality. There's really no challenge. And in order to have people in a company, you really need to challenge them all the time. And they have to feel they have control, because control is something that you need to have really flow experience. Short iterations is also another psychological need that people have. If within 2 months you don't see the result, your performance drops radically. That's just something how we work. If we don't see the results that we put at milestones and everything in there, just to have the sense of progression. And there's measurable progress. And our customer and PO feedback is something we really need, because we see they challenge us, we challenge them, and we really see the progress, and we have and form a relationship, right? And there is something really important in Scrum, and it's rituals. So rituals are killing the entropy in a way that you had a very bad morning, you argued a lot, there was a bad drive to your work. But then there's a meeting, you answer these 3 questions, you have your task, okay, and then slowly there's an order coming back to your mind and you can focus. So that's what we have in Scrum. So let's for a minute think not about process of buying flowers or process of Scrum, waterfall, Kanban, whatever, but think meta level, a level more. We are humans, let's admit it this day. Okay, we have our needs. We have our psychological needs. We need relationships. We need anything. How would Scrum 2.0 or Kanban 2.0 or Lean look like if we really reminded ourselves that we are humans? So this is the greatest discovery on 21st century IT. IT workers are still humans. First is the positive psychology. This term is defined first year 2000. Someone told the whole psychology was wrong. If you want to be happy, psychology studies sadness. When you want happy marriage, they study divorce. When you want to be healthy, they study diseases. And they think that if you do study bad things and you reverse them, you will get good. But when you reverse bad things, you will get not bad, which is very far from good or excellent, right? So this positive psychology is all the focus, all about energizing things, about happiness. Let's follow the best things in the world because they energize us, not the bad things. Another thing is strengths. Every one of you have unique strengths. And strength is not something you're good at. It's something that makes you feel strong. And you only know about it because no one else knows what you feel. So you have your strengths. You do some activities, and there is that feeling. That's your strength. And I have a good example of strength-based things. I was teaching kids that were very bad at school. They had no parents, so they were, going to the border of society. I was teaching one guy that had problems with math, with multiplying numbers, like 5 times 5, and he should be doing this for the last 4 or 5 years. So I gave up. I completely gave up, and I asked, okay, so let's talk about our passions. What are you passionate about? And he mentioned several things, and among them, there was, he said, you know what, I love music, and I love playing drums. I said, oh, great, I'm playing drums too, so maybe let's use it. I'll bring my drum next week, and let's see. And I brought the drum, and I did a simple exercise. Okay, now let's do 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that was 3 times 3. It's 9. Okay, now you play 2 times 4. And he played 2 times 4, and he said, it's 8. And I gave the drum to this guy, and in a week I came, he was able to multiply numbers up to 80. So the results were up to 80. It was a tremendous effect. Of course, the people asked me to get the drum away because they had so much noise. But it's the essence. I use the strengths to fight with the weakness. You cannot constantly fight with your weaknesses all the time. So when you see Tiger Woods, he's already the best, but he's still the best thing, if I could call it that way. He still improves in something that he's really good at, and that gives you energy. Another thing is communication and relationships. There's a famous experiment with monkeys. So imagine a small, hungry monkey that was taken away from her mother, and you see a cage, and that cage has 2 monkeys in it, and they are fake. One fake monkey has food, and is looking like this, and second monkey is very soft. And what happens? Which one to choose? Is the parent to just give you food, or is the parent to be soft, or what happened? The monkey immediately went to the soft mother to really feel warm, to really feel accepted, and spend some time then. When she felt safe, she went to the mother to eat something, but she was already hungry for last half an hour, right? So this tells also something very important about us, because we need relationships more than food. And we learn it even from animals. And there's a new generation of leadership. So when you see managers, old-time managers, you have tasks. They give you tasks, do it. They have deadline. Eventually, once a year or twice a year, if you're lucky, you get a conversation. And this passionate conversation, tells you about your performance and how could you improve, because they know you so well that they know it really well. And in new leadership, are passionate people that are coaches, that know your strengths, that know how to develop you, that know how to motivate you, that know you are unique, that you have friends, that you have kids or you have wife, you have certain problems, and they will encourage you, they will give you responsibility, not a task, they will challenge you, but they will give you all the tools you need. That's a new level of leadership that is coming right now. And if you think about Scrum and old-time managers, Scrum gives you Scrum Master, that's more like new kind of leader. He is there to help. He is there to just go ahead in front of the team and take the obstacles out of your way. That's the new kind of leadership we want. So now experiment. Now I need 3 volunteers to raise your hand. I don't see anyone. 1, 2, 3, just come here. Okay, these guys will have a simple exercise. You work in a team? Yeah, you have to. Okay, here's your task. Read it. You have the cards out there. Please choose the one that reflects the best what you have here. So, describe processes within your company. Please take one. So what I have there, I know Jabe will be able to describe this. This is the game that Jabe plays with his kids. And it's called Dixit. Dixit has painted cards. Oh, sorry guys, you have a minute for it. So, okay, stick the card to it so I can take a photo on the other side. And if you can take a post-it and put your name also, or just write it. Could you help us? Headshot. Okay, 30 more seconds. So there's a picture, and you'll see what happens. I'll see what happens. There's a number of pictures expressing different things. You will see 3 of them. And we'll see why. What's the choice and why. Okay, stick it and just write your name. Not on the card, please. Yeah, just your name and stick to the card with the task so everyone else can see it. Curious? Okay. And please stay here with me. So the first one, could you tell us a little bit why you choose that one? So it was describe processes within your company.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so processes within my company. Well, we're fighting dragons all the time, so I thought that this was sort of funky. We always up to big dragons, and our processes are like those swords, and we believe they can be defeated.
Okay, great. Malko, describe your relationship with your boss. I hope he's not here.
Okay, so it's super simple, but basically every time that I think or talk with my ex-boss, because anyway, it's about trying to understand what he needs so I can use him to enable a lot of things that I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. Chris, relationship within your team.
So generally it's fun, but sometimes you would like to puke if you are there for a long time.
Thanks. So, how would you ask that question to get such answers? You probably don't. So it's a simple, very simple technique how you could ask people strange and different questions, right? And this involves emotions, and this involves imagination, and much more things. And so new processes, if you think on a meta level, will be much more focused on you as a human being that need relationship, as Jabe was speaking about. And we really need that. So I hope that was inspiring for you. I'm also a relationship man, as you can see. Here's my blog. It's really fresh. In about 2 months, I will be releasing a book on effective multitasking. And you can find me on Facebook, my blog, or Twitter. Thank you very much.